Bama football on YouTube. Today is Wednesday. It is November 26th. Could I get a roll tide up inside the comment box? Thank you very much for joining me on today's program. Today will be a call-in show, all right? So I want to take your calls. I want to talk about the Iron Bowl. You want to talk about the college football playoffs. I'm up for that too. I do have a question for you inside the comment box, okay, as we get started. And I was asking this on Wake Up Bama kind of towards the back end as we kind of gear up and take, a couple steps closer to Thanksgiving Day. We're asking, today's topic is your top two Thanksgiving sides. So get inside the comment box with your top two Thanksgiving sides. Look, I get it. There's a lot of anxiety going into this weekend's game. There's so much at stake. There's no easy way to put it. I mean, and the scenarios are pretty simple. Win, and you move one step closer to the SEC title game. With that said, I still feel that Alabama, they have a tough route, okay? And it's been tough all season long when you're in the SEC. I think when you look at the teams that are competing this weekend, most of them are favorites that are kind of in that 9-2 mix, right? Kind of those 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 type teams. But Alabama has a tough road to hoe. And, listening to the players yesterday, they do seem locked in. And I've already told you my reasons for being confident in this Alabama football team as you go into the Iron Bowl. I think that I lean on the defense. But, a lot of me too is like, as I look collectively at the stats, I'm like, it's not like the offense has like completely fallen off. And the last game, I think, is confusing because of the team that they played. I mean, they still won 56-0. Okay. And even going back to that Oklahoma game, which we don't really like to talk about, but, Ty did throw for 326 yards. Okay. So I'm fully aware Auburn is a good football team. They are, and that probably makes you want to vomit or whatever. But they got some good components. It's going to be a hell of a matchup on Saturday. So I want to take your calls later on in the program about the Iron Bowl or about the college football playoffs. Okay. Let me give some AM shout-outs on Wednesday, November 26th. Let's see who's up in the house. We have Alyssa. What's up, Alyssa? I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. We also have North Alabama Storm Chase. Thank you so much. You already in stretchy pants. Oh, good for you, man. Yeah, enjoying it. All right, Amanda Jane, what's up? Good morning to you. Young C, good to see you inside the comment box. What's up, K2K? Good to see you, man. And look, I fully understand, too, about the usernames. This is like a constant thing. It happens. Every once in a while, the usernames, I don't know what happens to the usernames on this particular channel, but it's weird. Miss Blissful Love, what's up? See you inside the comment box. We got Broderick checking in. What's up, Broderick? Good to see you, bro. Hope you're off to a good Wednesday. We have Tyler B. Cooking. What's up, family? Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us on the program. We got Bruce Williams and we got Max Tooney. I know Chris from New Jersey is in here somewhere. We got Andy coming to us from Denver, Colorado. What's up, Andy? Good to see you. We got Miss Nicole Covington. What's up, Nicole? Good to see you this morning. We got Patriotic RN 2008. What's up? We got Randall. What's going on, man? Appreciate it. And Samuel Mullins. Good to see everybody this morning right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Let's see. Shaq Adams is saying, Kyle, I love me some screen bean casserole. I know you meant green bean, but screen bean casserole sounds incredible, right? Some screen bean casserole. Down for it. All right. Look, I was looking online and I saw a bunch of funny kind of Auburn, Alabama, I guess you can call them jokes or graphics or whatever. So let's go over a couple of them, right, as we talk about the screen bean casserole. Check out this one, okay? I have a couple of graphics that I found. And this is on Facebook. These made me laugh, right? The screen bean. All right, this is I don't know. I don't even know if this is real, but I saw it on Facebook. I thought it was hilarious. And it's Abundant Life, the Church of Abundant Life, with Pastor Terry Taylor Jr. It says, if you don't love Jesus and you root for Bama, you'll all burn. So I saw that one. I thought that was funny. All right, that's pretty good. That's like I don't know. That's like a 6 out of 10. Okay, we got another one. It says, a mama said, folks who wear Bama shirts probably went to Bama. And most folks who wear Auburn shirts got them after a fire or a hurricane or something. That was pretty good too. I go 6 out of 6.5. All right, 6.5. You guys like this one? All right, I think that's pretty funny. You know what? Forrest Gump is a hilarious. It's just a good movie, right? There's parts that are clearly funny, but it's a good movie, right? Forrest Gump fans in here, yeah. When I was in South Carolina this summer, I sat on like one of the official benches. I played golf at a spot where they had the Forrest Gump scene where he's pulling out Lieutenant Dan, right? All right. And Shaq Adams says, yeah, green and sweet potato. How about some screaming sweet potato casserole? Right? Shaq loves Forrest Gump. Yeah, I love Forrest Gump. This one just is a graphic of Auburn clothes on the clearance rack at Walmart. Okay. Thought that was just funny. And this one is probably my favorite. Yeah, I saw did you see this? This is Santa and Miss Claus, right? They're out there, and someone has clearly made, the Christmas lights. Yeah, I mean, you understand what's happening here on this Auburn sign. So that's kind of how, Alabama fans feel about Auburn, and that's just life in the South. All right, last night, the college football playoff rankings, they came out, and the bracket was slightly updated. There wasn't, big changes. I think some of the changes that took place was they moved Oregon above Ole Miss after Oregon beat USC. And Hunter Yurachek, if you haven't been watching and you haven't been keeping up with this guy, man, he was using, he used the whole 6'7" reference. It was pretty cringe. It doesn't seem like he's like, why don't we have, it would be a lot different if we had, somebody different up there representing it. It just kind of it makes everything look fishy, right? It makes everything look kind of less than with kind of him leading the way. I can't really put my finger on it, but it's just kind of strange. Alabama in this scenario would be on the road at Ole Miss, okay? Now, the only way that this would really be realistic, okay, that Alabama would be a 10 seed is if Alabama was to lose in the SEC title game. That's the only way that this type of scenario really works out. And if they do lose in the SEC title game, I do feel that they have an opportunity to still get in the playoffs. I've mentioned kind of the scenarios, but they would likely be on the road. The first round games, just so you know, in case you need a refresher, the first round games are at the host site of the higher seeds. So, for example, Tulane would be going to Lubbock to play Texas Tech. Okay, Notre Dame would be going to Norman, Oklahoma, and so on. Alabama going on the road to play in Oxford. The quarterfinal games are not at Athens, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Indiana. The quarterfinals, that's where we start the bowl games, right? So the bowl games start at the quarterfinals, and they go into the semifinals up until we get to the championship game. That's how kind of things work. Now, I think Alabama hosting a playoff game is pretty much out of the question because if they win the SEC title game, they're going to be seeds 1, 2, 3, or 4, okay? And that will be in a bowl game setting. So just kind of, setting the table. And I do have, some issues with this playoff bracket. I mean, it's good to see Alabama in there, but there's just no way in hell that this holds up. I think the only team that has really solidified its spot, as I said on Wake Up Bama, was Indiana. Indiana is the only team right here that has solidified their spot in a 1 through 4 position, right? Because they're going to beat Purdue. They're going to reach the Big Ten championship game. And even if they lose, they're still going to be a 12-1 type team. They're getting a 1 through 4, okay? Texas A&M, it's not for sure that they even beat Texas. It's not, okay? They're only a 2-point favorite. And Georgia, right now, they're number 4, but if Bama gets there, that they're not even playing in the SEC championship game, right? And then Ohio State, yeah, everyone has them as the top dog, but they haven't beaten Michigan in 4 straight games, and that's where they're playing this weekend, okay? So there's a lot of chaotic scenarios, and one of the kind of chaos theories that I was thinking about is this one from the Big Ten. Okay, stay with me here. I try to bring it up. What happens in the Big Ten? This is kind of like a chaos setting. There's a lot of them to think about, but this one was freaking me out. What happens if Michigan beats Ohio State and Oregon beats Indiana in the Big Ten championship game? What would that do? Because then Oregon would have to be 1 through 4. Indiana would probably be 2. Ohio State, they're still getting in. And does that mean that Michigan is left out with a 10-2 record? They become a 10-2 team with the best win out of the 10-2 teams, right? But I think you have to remember who they lost to, and they lost to Oklahoma. So if Oklahoma wins against LSU, they're in. But that 10-2 Michigan in that chaotic scenario, that could be interesting to think about. Alabama's path is really easy. They could get in the playoffs 100%, which is winning the SEC title game. That's it. And we all know the opposite. If they lose against Auburn, it's done. And they're playing in, I don't know what even type of bowl they'd play in. Okay. Here are the teams that are ranked 9-2 right now. Okay. Oklahoma, as mentioned, they are playing LSU. Notre Dame is playing Stanford. Alabama, out of all these teams, in my opinion, outside of Michigan, and Vanderbilt plays, Tennessee, who I also think is pretty good. But Alabama has the toughest path, and let me tell you why. Oklahoma beats LSU. They're in because they finished their season 10-2. They can't play in the SEC title game. Notre Dame, they finished 10-2 after beating Stanford. They don't even have a conference championship game. Alabama, they beat Auburn. They still have to play another game where they will be judged again because they've already lost 2 games. Right? They have to play. Alabama is the only team on this board right here that has to play 2 playoff play-in games back-to-back. Miami, they play Pittsburgh. They should win that game. Utah, I forget who Utah plays. Utah plays Kansas. They should win that game. Vanderbilt plays Tennessee. That's going to be one hell of a game. But it doesn't matter. Like, they win, that their season's done. Tennessee wins, their season's done in terms of, not making the playoffs. And Michigan, they have a tough opponent, clearly, hosting Ohio State. But even if they win that game, they're not playing in the Big Ten championship game. So Bama clearly still has the most challenging path out of these 9-2 teams, right? Blissful Love asks, so by chance, if Oklahoma loses to LSU, what then? I think that certainly helps Alabama's case, right? Because when you look to the playoffs, Oklahoma's a couple spots above Alabama. And I think that being that Oklahoma would be 9-3, and if Alabama is able to, finish the season even 10-3, that could be interesting, Blissful Love. Like, who did they take in that scenario? Because one thing that we know from the committee is they don't like you to lose late. And then theoretically, you would have Oklahoma lose late and you would have Alabama lose late if Alabama loses the SEC title game. Look, I've already told you, I feel confident that Alabama, if they beat Auburn, I think they have enough momentum that following week to beat Auburn or A&M. Right? So it's a gauntlet. It's like that. This is the world we live in. I said this last night, and I said this on Wake Up Bama, but I just want you to understand clearly, if Alabama's season, here, listen to me, I said this last night, I've been saying this. If Alabama's season was to end against Auburn, and they finished out with a win, they would finish out 10-2, right? Right. And what if they didn't have to play in the SEC title game? So Alabama finishes 10-2. That's done. They're done. What do you think their chances would be to make the playoffs? I think it would be exceptionally high. 10-2, took care of business, finished at the top of the SEC, don't have to play in an SEC title game. That would just be like Notre Dame. How could you leave out Alabama? Alabama has to go to another playoff play-in game by winning against Auburn. I would say this. What if you wanted to really equalize the playing field against Notre Dame, everybody get rid of conference championship games and just give the team that took first, kind of that they won the title. because I feel that teams are now being penalized for having to play an extra game against a quality opponent. Meanwhile, a team like Notre Dame, they're like, we're done with the season, 10-2. Sorry, we don't even play in the conference title game. That would make Notre Dame crap their pants if they took out SEC, ACC title games. I'm serious. Because then what would you do? You just have all these other teams, and Notre Dame's schedule would then be exposed. Right? I don't know. Jarvis says that may happen. I hope so, because I guarantee you Greg Sankey and the SEC is going to be absolutely livid if one of his teams makes it to the SEC, the hardest conference in all of college football, and gets penalized for losing that sort of game, right? Hey, Ferguson, what's up, dog? Good to see you, man. He says, Kyle, yeah, you know what? I do feel this way. I do feel that Bama would be a very challenging matchup for A&M. And we all know about Georgia. You could sit here and be like, oh, man, this Kyle Henderson guy, he's so, optimistic about Georgia, and they're going to beat Georgia. Georgia's damn good. Nobody wants to play Georgia right now. Nobody. But if somebody has your number, dog, somebody has your number. Okay? And that's it. Just like Oklahoma has Alabama's number, well, guess what? Alabama has Georgia's number. And sometimes you're like, damn, well, does that mean Michigan has Ohio State's number? Well, right now, yeah, it does. 4 in a row against somebody of that caliber is pretty interesting and pretty telling, right? We have RTR inside the comment box. This is absolutely right. He's saying, not worried about anyone else other than ourselves. And you're right. Let me ask you, who beat themselves? Like Alabama, Alabama lost the game against Oklahoma by beating themselves. 3 turnovers, that's how you lost. It wasn't that Oklahoma dominated that game. They didn't. The only game that Alabama lost straight up where a team completely outplayed them was Florida State. Florida State beat Alabama straight up. No excuses. They beat them. There's no if this would have happened. No. Florida State just came in and they knocked Alabama out. Okay? But not the Oklahoma game wasn't like that. Alabama beat themselves in that game. So Friday night, you have 2 monumental games taking place. Okay? You have A&M taking on Texas, right, in Austin, and you also have the Egg Bowl. I've been asking about, the outcome of the Egg Bowl and what's going to happen with Ole Miss if they finish out 11-1. The committee, they're like, well, we can't tell the future, and we won't know how to gauge Ole Miss if their coach leaves. All right, let me ask you, because it's starting to get pretty interesting. Where is Lane Kiffin going? Is this like, man, he controls college football. Everybody talks about Lane Kiffin. Everybody. And I think that's what he wants. I think he wants everybody to be talking about him. Where do you think he goes? Because I saw, I think there's, people are starting to predict, where he's going, right? And I think clearly the favorite is LSU. But you know what made me scratch my head is, Chris Lowe, now he works for On3. He's predicting Ole Miss, that he stays there. And so is Brett McMurphy. So, man, I agree, Chris. I think it's kind of done with LSU. But I don't know, when some of those other guys are still picking Ole Miss, that would be a shocker, right? Anyways, I'm so interested to see what happens with Ole Miss when they finish 11-1. All right, Oklahoma takes on LSU, as mentioned. Vanderbilt in Tennessee, that's a great game. Georgia takes on Georgia Tech. Is that game also Friday? Is Georgia and Georgia Tech Friday? I think it might be. Let's see. Georgia Tech. Because we have a pretty good slate on Friday. Yeah, that game's also on Friday. So check this out, fam. Our college football on Friday, holy cow. These are our Friday games. Ole Miss and Mississippi State at 11 a.m. Then following that game, we have Georgia taking on Georgia Tech. And then following that game, we have A&M taking on Texas. So, that is going to be it. Those 3 games right there are great. we'll probably do a Friday watch party for something, right? We got to. So this is kind of the outlook of where we're at. I've explained what I think will happen. I've went over this slide a couple different times. Hunter Yurachek last night said the committee still feels that Notre Dame is a complete team that deserves to be ranked where they are ahead of Alabama and Miami. I know a lot of people feel strangely about this guy. I do too. It's kind of weird. But with that said, Notre Dame is playing good football right now. Like there's no denying that, right? And they're kind of doing it with style points. And I would imagine since Notre Dame completely understands the criteria playbook, they will probably score 70 on Stanford again and end as the hottest 10-2 team that there is. And the committee loves Notre Dame. So Notre Dame's pretty much in. This was weird when he did the whole 6-7 reference, right? We didn't have any discussions on Ole Miss and its coach when asked Lane Kiffin about leaving, if it would affect their ranking. So that was weird. All right, fam, as you know, this video is powered by Sleeper. When you download the app, you get $20 upon just downloading the app. Available in 25 states. Get a $100 deposit match up to $100. Terms and conditions, of course, apply, and use the promo code, which is tailgate. All right. And while you guys are calling in today, I might bring up kind of the more or less for this weekend's game. I'm curious to see what they have Ty Simpson throwing for against Auburn. I haven't looked at it just yet. And, of course, Tick Pick. All right, if you want concerts, music festivals, you got to download the app and use the promo code, which is HMA. They give you a nice percentage cut on purchasing your tickets. So check them out. Tick Pick, use the promo code, which is HMA. All right. As you know, before I take your calls, this is one of the weirdest stats in this Iron Bowl. Bring it up again. Really since 2019, because you did have Saban and Malzahn coaching in that game. But every single year since 2020, there's been a different head football coaching matchup in this game. And next year, there'll be one too, which is weird, right? Because unless DJ Durkin becomes the official head football coach at Auburn, that's going to be, another changing of two coaches playing each other. Just really weird. Everything around this game is weird, but this stat, I don't think there's another two teams out there that have a stat like that. Strange. All right, as you know, the call-in line, it's open 205-850-1994. What's trending today, clearly, you got the Iron Bowl, why Alabama wins, playoff talk, Ty versus Auburn, got a bowl prediction, and then I'm sure you saw it, but I get it. It's probably put you, like, in a bad space because anytime I see, like, because I try to balance it. Like, I could probably talk about an Alabama coach being targeted every day, but I think sometimes, like, it's draining. So right now, just to be straightforward with you, Jamarcus Shepard is close to being the head football coach at Oregon State, okay? It's between him and another coach. So this is fact, okay? Jamarcus Shepard is the wide receiver coach here at the University of Alabama. In my opinion, it would be a loss. I think he does a great job recruiting. He's the co-offensive coordinator here. He does a great job with the wide receivers, and I think the first question you think about is like, damn, well, how does that impact the receivers here at Alabama? Well, one thing that I've learned is that Alabama will always upgrade at coach, like assistant coaching positions. It's crazy. Jamarcus Shepard will be really hard to replace if he does leave because I really like kind of that juice that he has. And I do feel he has more juice than Holman Wiggins, who was the last coach here before him. But think about the receiver coaches that we had in the past. I mean, they've all gone on to different things, and you've continued to upgrade, right? You had Josh Gaddis here. You had Mike Locksley. He was coaching the wide receivers. You had Holman Wiggins for a while, and Jamarcus Shepard. So we'll see what happens with Shep. I'll keep you guys posted, but sometimes I do feel it's like draining to keep talking about coaches going elsewhere. But it's Alabama. I mean, we've done this every single year, since I've covered the program. I mean, good coaches are going to come here, and good coaches are going to leave here. And you just, you got to accept that when you cover the tide and when you follow the tide. With that said, let's take some calls. And we got it looks like we got Timothy calling from the road. Let's see where he's at. Timothy, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. I'm still in DeSoto right now. My truck's getting worked on.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Timothy calling from DeSoto. What's up, bro? Come with it.
Yes, sir. This Iron Bowl is going to be I feel like it's going to be crazy, only because someone touched on it yesterday about how, and I think you touched on it Monday. Every game Auburn has played has been a one-possession game other than Georgia. I feel like it'll be maybe like a 7-point win if we do, and I hope we win. Since it's at Jordan-Hare, Nick Saban said it is the haunted barn. I agree. Everything happens there. It's so freaking weird. But I feel like the reason why we're going to win is our defense and our special teams, as in like the kick return game and the punt return game. If we can just pin Auburn deep in their 10, 15-yard line, I feel like we have a great chance of winning this game. If we do not pin them deep and they're starting at their 30, 35, 40, it's going to be a long night in Jordan-Hare. I still believe that we would win that. But the one X factor that I'm looking at right now is Connor Talty. I feel like if he can get in a groove and he starts making some short field goals, if he can get out of his head, kicking and everything, so he can get the confidence that he needs to play someone like a Texas A&M or Georgia. And last point I want to hit on, Kyle, is when we beat Auburn, I would rather play Texas A&M because that is the committee's third-ranked team right now with 0 losses, who also play Notre Dame. If we beat Texas A&M by 7 or 10 points, they're going to look at us being maybe like I think we would be a 2 seed, maybe, or 3. And I think if anything right now, the 3 seed has the easiest chance of making the national championship, or the 4th seed. So I would want to be that 3 or 4 seed. And if not, then that'd be fine. I'd rather just make the playoffs. But if we don't make the playoffs, I don't know what to do about this season. But I have my high hopes on Alabama this year. And if history repeats itself like it did in 2015, we could win a natty.
I appreciate the call, Timothy. Thanks, bro. I'll answer on the other line. Timothy still calling from DeSoto as he gets his his truck worked on. 256 and 850 coming up next. I mean, I've been open about. I do feel that I would like to have Alabama and A&M match up. I think that that would be a great matchup. And as Timothy points out, that's their 3rd best team. That's an undefeated team. That's a team that beat Notre Dame. Alabama beats Texas A&M. If those two teams were to meet, I mean, who's to say Alabama can't be? I would say they'd probably be a number 2 team, right? If Ohio State wins. Now, you have to put a lot of weight, I think, if you're the committee, on the SEC champion. Specifically, if it's Alabama, that would be their 5th win over top 25 teams and their 2nd win against the top 5 team. No other team in college football could say that. Theoretically, you could see Alabama move to the number 1 seed if they're able to beat Texas A&M. I mean, you really could. Let's see. MB Carter, what's up, man? A gadget play I wouldn't mind is a fake field goal. Ooh, I didn't think about that, man. I'm down with that. And you know how I feel about gadget plays, but I'm not mad at that at all. All right, 256. Let's do it. What's up? You're on the line with Kyle Anderson. How you doing? Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Roll Tide Prods from Huntsville.
What's up, Roll Tide Prods? I appreciate you, man. Thanks for joining us. Happy early Thanksgiving and good morning to you, man. Come with it.
I was just going to say that this committee does not know what they're doing. Hunter Yurchek is an absolute joke, and he needs to be, fired.
What did you think about kind of some of his comments last night? I mean, obviously you're younger. The whole 6'7" reference, was that pretty cringeworthy for you?
Yes, that was the cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So, as you look to the Iron Bowl, and I appreciate you bringing up, the committee, because I think a lot of people feel the same way about college football, and that's probably one of the reasons that it is broken along with the college football calendar, right? But when you think about this Iron Bowl, what's on your mind? What's your confidence level going into this weekend's game?
I think we'll win. I think like a comfortable margin of victory would be like anything greater than 10 points, and that'll be good, I feel like.
You have like a X factor for the Iron Bowl?
I think it's going to be Ryan Williams. He struggled lately, but I think, he almost committed to Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to pop off this game.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of waiting. We're kind of waiting for that big game from Ryan, and hopefully, I mean, that would be stellar considering his pops has ties to Auburn and all that. And you know what, big time players rise up in big time games. I never sold on Ryan. I mean, he's just one play away from making something extraordinary happen. But we'll see what happens. But thanks for calling in, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Yes, thank you. See you.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right, we got a couple comments inside the comment box. J. Cole saying Shepard staying, and then we have one, I think, from Ty B. Cooking. What's up, Ty? Says Matt Campbell is going to Arkansas. I could see that, yeah. I don't know if any of those have been, like, official, but I do know that, Kane was kind of in the mix for that Arkansas job. Look, these coaches are going to be contacted by other, places. I think the one that does have some legs, it seems to be Oregon State at this point in time. But look, I mean, guys are going to get opportunities. That's kind of a good thing, right? Other programs want, a little something of Alabama. And but I do like the cohesiveness that this staff has. I mean, these guys have been together for a long time. 850, we'll take it. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Yeah, who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Parker.
Parker, what's up, bro? Where are you calling in from?
Pace, Florida.
That's right. Okay. All right. Thanks for calling in,
right
Parker.
Outside of Pensacola.
Yeah. Good to have you on the show, man.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too.
So basically, going into this Iron Bowl, I don't know. I'm just kind of worried about this one. This one's so. You would say this is a play-in game for Bama? I mean, win we're in, lose we're done, right?
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%. And our users out there might be like, what? Everyone doesn't follow everything with like a super microscope. But yeah, to everyone that's just like, what is really the outcome? And is Alabama's record good enough to get them in? It's not. They literally have to beat Auburn. And they only have, according to like these ESPN metrics that they only have a 59% chance if they beat Auburn, right? Then they play in the SEC title game. They only have a 59% chance to still make the playoffs if they were to lose the SEC title game. But it all starts this Saturday. I mean, you lose and it's done. I mean, it's the worst case scenario, Parker, because Alabama won 9 games last year. Alabama has so far won 9 games this year. And then you go to some meaningless bowl game. So could the worst happen? Yeah. But could the best happen too? Yeah. That's what makes it so polarizing at this point in time.
All right, so here's my question, and I cannot believe I'm throwing this out here, but I'm going to throw it out. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, if DeBoer loses this game on Saturday, do you think he's on the hot seat?
Yeah, he will be on the hot seat starting next year. So we will enter next year, 2026, and really that'll be the thing that'll be so deflating for fans. Is in something that'll just be terrible to honestly, like for a content creator to cover, because people will be so down on DeBoer. So if they lose on Saturday, you'll have really January through, or really like December to whenever the season starts again, of people just having doubt in their mind that Coach Kalen DeBoer can't get it done because you've missed the playoffs twice in a row, which will be nearly impossible for fans to accept. And until the college, bracket goes to 16 teams, it's hard to make the playoffs, right? Because you have to take a group of 5, which is so pointless. You have to take Notre Dame because they don't play in a conference. It's hard to win the SEC. It's hard. It's the hardest conference in college football. Yeah. So DeBoer, while he's doing a better job, he also has a lot of cards stacked against him for trying to make the playoffs on a yearly basis until they go to 16 teams and then 24 until they just let everybody in.
I don't know. I'm feeling okay about this, but I'm just in my gut. I don't know. It's just, I hate to say it, but it was so much fun when Saban was here.
I mean, look, Parker, it's still fun. It's more competitive. It's just the thing is, and I think a lot of Alabama fans are like, man, that was a great time. It is a great time, but this is a great time too because you have a chance to kind of play in like an NFL light where it's more do or die on a weekly basis. And look, Alabama still has a better roster than pretty much all the teams that they play. So the ball bounces a couple different ways. This team is really a one-loss team. They just had self-inflicted wounds against Oklahoma. But no, I hear you, man, and I see someone inside the comment box saying if DeBoer loses or if Alabama loses to Auburn, he takes that Penn State job. I've seen that out there. I mean, people don't like to talk about it, but you imagine the type of pressure that comes with Alabama. That's what I'm saying. Like that type of pressure going into next season. And I've kind of heard, behind the scenes that, I don't know how much, some of the people around him even really like living in Tuscaloosa. So there's that. But I appreciate you, Parker. Thanks for calling in, brother.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Roll Tide.
You too, man. All right, 256. Hey, good morning. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who am I online with and where are you calling in from?
Good morning, Kyle. It's Justin from Oxford, Alabama. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, Justin, what's up, buddy? I appreciate you calling in, man. Good morning to you and welcome into the show.
First-time caller, long-time listener, Kyle.
Yeah, well, welcome.
First of all, I just want to give you a big shout-out for the daily grind and the work that you continue to put in making this show what I feel is one of the premier shows on YouTube as far as for the content creators like yourself.
Thank you, Justin. I really appreciate that. And I just, I hope, everybody sees kind of consistency from my side of things, right? Because, look, I choose to live in this lane. Could I have a different opportunity? Of course, right? But I choose to stay in this lane, and I choose to grind it out. And it is a grind, but I am comfortable in this lane. I do have a tremendous work ethic, and I like, kind of being in this space. But, yeah, it's a hell of a grind, 100%. So I appreciate that, man. But anyways, Justin from Oxford, come with it, man. Welcome to the show.
Kyle, I kind of think that the obvious scenario possibly that could happen out of all these things is potentially we win the Iron Bowl Saturday. Mm. We move on. We play either Texas A&M or Georgia, possibly in the SEC championship. Is that the top two teams there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's just say hypothetically we lose the SEC championship game, and I feel like there's a really good chance that Michigan could beat Ohio State.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a Michigan win over Ohio State, I feel like the committee, based off of just how they've acted so far this year, could possibly move Michigan ahead of us and leave us out if Michigan wins that game.
Yeah, that's my chaos scenario, Justin, is that Michigan beats Ohio State and then Oregon beats Indiana. So that would be – can you imagine that? Because then what are they going to do?
Gosh.
What are they going to do, leave out a 10-2 Michigan who just has the best win in college football? So and right now hold on, Justin. Let me get to this real quick, bro. I see this online. I don't know if this is legit. I'm going to wait for someone else like like a Chris Lowe or someone from I don't know, ESPN or On3 to break it, but there's a lot of people right now saying that Alex Golesh, I'm seeing it with you guys, that Alex Golesh took the head coaching job at Arkansas, but I haven't seen like a legitimate big time source announce it yet. If it does, we'll talk about it on air. But right now, I think I'd still say kind of not official yet. Anyways, go ahead, Justin.
So, Kyle, with the things the committee's done in the past, and, I think all of us should feel like that the committee sets precedents, and they should, based off of previous decisions they've made, they should continue down that path, making those similar decisions. And the two instances I'll bring up for point is the year that TCU lost the Big 12 championship game, and the committee just pretended like it didn't even happen. They left them right where they were. They made it in the 14 playoff that year. Ohio State and Georgia played in the first round. I don't remember who TCU played in the first round, but I know they won that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then Georgia beat Ohio State. And I told everybody then, I said, look, make no mistake. The Georgia-Ohio State game is your national championship game. If TCU wins, Ohio State or Georgia is going to destroy them. And that's exactly what happened. Move forward to last year with SMU. SMU lost the championship game. The committee also pretended like it didn't even happen. And they left them right where they were, and they left them in the playoff. Another mistake, as we all saw. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know I don't feel like it would be a mistake if Alabama lost the championship game and the committee kept them in based off of their body of work this year.
Yeah. Yeah, the committee is flawed, clearly. You hear me constantly griping about, Notre Dame, this and that, but the chaos scenario, as I explained earlier, about Michigan beating Ohio State, which theoretically they could, that would be, I think, terrible for even Alabama if they get to the SEC title game and lose. Justin, anything else, man, before I move to my next caller?
Is it just me, Kyle, or does it not seem like the committee may be even more flawed this year than in previous years?
Yeah.
And in my mind, they should be getting better, not worse.
No, 100%. It seems dirtier and dirtier like every single year. You're right. And it's like, what's sad is that we have to accept it. We're just like sitting here and we're like, well, this is it. I mean, this is the only sport, like only major sport that a group of people go into a room and choose the teams. It's so stupid. You imagine if they did this in the NFL? Imagine if they did this Premier League soccer, Major League Baseball? No, this is ridiculous. So it is. It's so stupid, bro. I mean, like, don't get me started on why a group of 5 team has to make it. Why? If they were a top 12 team, then yeah, they can make it for sure. But why? Just because?
That is the most ridiculous rule out of all of them to me, is the group of 5 team getting in.
Yeah, why?
It makes no sense whatsoever.
I mean, that's a participation trophy. That's like, hey, you're the group of 5. You made it. Aren't we as a society mostly against that?
Yeah,
that's
if they're ranked the 12th team,
100%.
If they're ranked the 12th team at the final poll, sure, put them in.
I agree.
I mean, a 20th ranked team jumping over an Alabama to get in the playoff is insane.
Exactly, like Tulane right now, they're 24, and why? So they just deserve it because they're a group of 5. Like, what are we doing here? That's not even part of, like, our. Anyways, all right, Justin, I'm getting
that rule needs to change, and then not penalizing teams for the losing their championship game. Yep. Both of those need to be put in place.
For sure. I appreciate it, man. Good call from Oxford, man. Thanks for
Kyle.
calling.
Have a good one, man.
See you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Yep. All right. Good call right there. I think we got Mike. Let's see. Hey, Mike, what's up, man? We got Turn Up Mike. Mike, where are you calling in from? Are you on the road today?
Yes, I am, Kyle. Thank you. It's I'm on I-20 headed east towards L.A., going to South Alabama for Thanksgiving. So roll tide, everybody. It's a great weekend.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get to this real quick. So right now, there's a lot of chatter about Alex Golesh. So right now, Trey Schapp, who's been covering Arkansas and the voice of Little Rock, Arkansas, I guess women's basketball, is announcing on X that sources have told him that Alex Golesh has accepted and offered to be the next head football coach at Arkansas. I haven't seen like one of the big time, kind of news breakers. Like, Matt Zenitz, like a Chris Lowe, I don't know, those type of Brett McMurphy, you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen any of those guys put it out there yet. But, I mean, this guy seems to, he has 18,000 followers on X. So Alex Golesh, and look, I think that would be a slam dunk hire for Arkansas. You know how I feel about Alex Golesh. That guy's done a great job at South Florida. Arkansas is going to be a tough place to win, just period. But anyways, just to kind of throw it out there, because I know Kane Womack was linked to that job and whatever. So just to kind of throw that out there. But Turn Up Mike, what's up, man? Welcome on in.
Not much, but hey, if Alex Golesh, if he gets that job at Arkansas, I mean, I thought he'd be a candidate for a better job, like maybe the Florida Gator job or Auburn or something like that. I just think Arkansas is kind of limited on their success, man. I just think they're at the bottom. They have a long way to go, and that's just a major rebuilding job. And it's like, I'm surprised he's not going to Florida, to be honest with you. But these because it seems like, just like Lane Kiffin, he's probably the number 2 guy out there, just in my opinion, with the success he had. But this is what gets about these coaching changes, Kyle. Florida has had good coaches, man. Every one of their last 5 coaches have had winning records. Dan Mullen's had an excellent record. They fired every one of them. I mean, the year after Dan Mullen went to the championship game and lost to Alabama by 4 points or so, they had I forget his last name, Kyle Thrash, I think his name was, as a QB. They fired him the next year. So I don't know why they keep firing their coaches. Just give these guys a little time. And to answer the previous caller, the 2 callers back about it, DeBoer has been on the hot seat since the second he took the job. It's just the nature of the game. All these coaches are, if you're at these big schools and you are constantly on the hot seat. So absolutely DeBoer's on the hot seat. So that's just the way it is. They're always on the hot seat. Sark's on the hot seat now. But one thing about Auburn's the topic of discussion is Iron Bowl weekend. I think Auburn made a bad mistake firing Hugh Freeze. I think they get there might be some behind the scenes stuff that I don't know about that might have pushed it over the top. But this is why, Kyle. Again, Hugh Freeze was a good coach. He did good at Liberty, I think it was. He did good at Ole Miss, I think it was. He went to Auburn and bombed. Why couldn't he do good at Auburn? Because he's according to most people and according to me, they're pretty close to getting over the hump. Because what I'm hearing from you and from other people is Auburn's a decent team. They're a good team. They're missing one element: a good quarterback. Man, you've got to have the good quarterback to get you to the next level. And if they'd have had that, well, they'd be a completely different team. Jackson Arnold's a waste when the word go, dude. And when they got him, I knew. But this is what happened, man. They fired Hugh Freeze about week 5 or 6 or so. Okay, so be it. Well, then what happened was Florida fired their coach. Well, Auburn got bumped down the spot. LSU fired their coach. Well, they got bumped. Penn State fired. Now Auburn's like the 5th or 6th best job. Who are they going to get, man? They should have stuck with Hugh Freeze, give him 1 more year or 2 years just to get a quarterback. Unless there's a behind this, but Auburn just set themselves back another 3 or 4 years, man. So I don't know what it is about, because it's not the best job. And who would want to coach at Auburn anyway, man? You do decent and you get fired. And same thing with Florida Gators, man. You get fired. But real quick, Kyle, I'll let you go. But you answer me if this is a good situation or not. Just what you think about this idea, right? With the SEC the championship games around the country, the 4 or 5 major conference championship games around the country. In my opinion, what the committee should do, and they are not serious people that do not realize the impact and the weight of their responsibility. They are not serious people, the committee. But what they should do, they should leave the championship games intact. I'm an old-timer, dude. I love the championship games. They should leave them intact, right? But keep them separate from the 12-team playoff. Like what I mean by that, Kyle, let's say if Alabama wins out, A&M wins out, they go play the championship game, and the loser of that game should not be penalized with the committee, and the winner should not be rewarded. Just keep them the way it is, but it does not impact the ratings whatsoever. It's just like a side game, because the championship game, to me, winning the SEC is tougher than going to the playoff. I think we can all agree with that. And like I try telling people out there in Texas, man, that, you better be patient because A&M and Arkansas has been in Missouri and whoever, they've been in the league now for 20 years. They've never won an SEC combined. So it's a tough go, man. So leave the championship games intact. I love the champion. It's a great reward for our players, something to win. But keep them separate from the playoff ranking, a completely separate entity from the playoff rankings. That's just what I think they should do. That's just my one opinion what they should do. But to me, Auburn, I don't know what's going to play. It's the Iron Bowl. What's going to play out, man? A pick six, return, fumble for it. Who knows what's going to play out, right? But I think Auburn really set themselves back 3 or 4 years firing Hugh Freeze. They should have waited one more year because right now they're the 5th best job in the country, dude. Because, and same thing with Florida, man. Who'd want to go to Florida? That's a place where good coaches go to die. They fire all their coaches. So I don't know, man. But, Kyle, that's my rant for the day, brother, man.
All right, I appreciate it, man. Be safe on the road, and we'll talk to you soon. Good points, as usual. All right, talk to you later, Mike.
Thanks, man. Bye.
You know what? Mike just got my wheels turning. How about this in regards to this these conference championship games? How about Notre Dame? Okay, you don't have to play in a conference championship game, but every single year you get to play like your last game is the same week as the conference championship game, and you have a playoff play-in game, and you have to play either the number 3 from the SEC, the number 3 from the Big Ten, the number 3 from the Big 12, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you imagine, like, who would win right now, Georgia or Notre Dame? I think Georgia would win, right? Okay, Notre Dame or, like, Oregon, right? I mean, you just can't, like, finish your season 10-2 without playing anybody and just be like, we're done. I don't like that. All right, it looks like we got Case calling in from Tampa. Case, what's up, bro?
How you doing, Kyle? Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you too, man. What do you guys do? We do turkeys down in Tampa? What's going on? We
do fried turkeys.
Ooh,
that's what we do.
Ooh, yeah. Fried turkeys is the top, right? There's nothing better than like a fried turkey.
Oh, for sure. We make a butter and a slurry, and we take the syringe and inject it underneath the skin. So
my God.
You fry it, and you just get this pocket of fried turkey skin, and you get this juicy, buttery meat. Because if you just cook a turkey in the oven, it's dry, but it's got Cajun seasoning, and then you fry it. It's great. It's the best way to cook a turkey. I sell it on everyone who doesn't do it, and every time they come to my house for Thanksgiving, they ask us to cook their turkey next Thanksgiving. So.
Wow.
So it's a curse and a blessing at the same time.
Hey, that sounds more like a blessing to me. Yeah.
But for this Thanksgiving, Kyle, I'm thankful for your show because you're the best Alabama coverage and college football coverage in the nation, on the internet, in the world. Doesn't matter. You do the best coverage. So
Thanks,
I
brother.
appreciate you, and I'm thankful for your show. And I have to say, I love the morning wake up because it's the perfect time I wake up and I'm commuting to work and I can throw it on and I get the scoop of the day. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like kind of adding that to the arsenal. So I appreciate the compliments, and I'm always changing things. I don't think you could ever be stagnant in this type of world, and I'm always trying to do different things. A lot of life is about doing different things and trying to figure out, is this working? Do I need to change this? Is it something with the thumbnails? Is it something with the audio? Is it something with whatever it is? So I'm always changing. So I do appreciate the compliments. So anyways, man, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here as always, Case. And come with it, man. We got a bunch of trending topics, but it's your show.
Yeah, as the show kept going on, there's more and more topics that keep just popping out. Alex Golesh, if it's confirmed that he's going to Arkansas, I do agree that that's a tough spot in the SEC. Just to be able to rebuild. It's almost like a Lane Kiffin job, because he had to go to Ole Miss and completely rebuild that. He had to overhaul the recruiting, use NIL, really build a culture there. That's like a 5, 6, 7 year job. I didn't mean to do the 6, 7 thing there. That's like a multi-year job thing. You have to completely rebuild the culture But I think it is fairly, a good spot. I thought Sam Pittman was doing a good job for a couple of years there. In 2020, he had a really good season. But, I mean, we saw what USF did to Alabama for 2 years in a row. Alex Golesh is a monster. I think he could be successful anywhere. He's a great coach. But other than that topic, I did have a question. I don't know if you touched on it or not. Do we know if Josh Cuevas is healthy for the game? Because I've heard some things online about him possibly having a broken foot.
Yeah. That's certainly out there. So I mean, you guys see what I see as well, and Josh Cuevas, like the speculation is out there in like the world is that he has a broken foot. Now, I haven't been able to confirm that. And I'm waiting on Coach Kalen DeBoer to fully address that because obviously it's a broken foot. But what he keeps on saying is that he doesn't really give us a status update. Now, because Alabama and Auburn is an SEC conference game, tonight at 7:11 p.m. will be the official student availability report. And that'll drop, and that has to be submitted officially to the SEC. With that said, also, Coach Kalen DeBoer speaks to the media at 11:30 Central Time today, and I'm sure he'll give an update about Josh Cuevas. So those are things to watch, and I'll pop out a video immediately depending on what he says about Josh Cuevas. So I would say right now, status unknown, but I've seen what you've seen. A lot of people saying broken foot and maybe out for a while, but I just, until I hear it from Coach Kalen DeBoer, I can't really even report on it.
I mean, he's just such a consistent part of our receiving offense and also in the blocking. I know we have some very young talent at the tight end position that are really working their way up, especially as the year's gone on. They're very, very actually deep position group we have at the tight end spot, but he's just fully the most rounded guy there at the position. Good blocker, good catcher, very consistent third down catcher. But other than that, hope the boy Cuevas is all right. But I'm very, this is going to sound crazy. Like I said, I called in last week about the Auburn game when we were talking about the Central Illinois, looking ahead a little bit, some rat poison. But I'm very confident going into this game. I think a lot of people, it's normal. We lose a game against Oklahoma. People lose their confidence. I really think, just like you said, we beat ourselves against Oklahoma. I think we're gonna go in here, and I think we'll cover. I think we'll probably win by a touchdown or 10 points, possibly more. I think this team is too hungry and has fought too hard of a slate to just skate. You know what? It's just not in us. I think that the whole team, the whole coaching staff, the entire program is too competitive and has fought too hard. There's no team in the country that has had as hard of a slate that Alabama has had, and that is the number one tell is if a team is going to have a good run in the playoff is have they been battle tested. Last year, Ohio State, even though they didn't have a super strong schedule, they were battle tested. They lost a couple games. They lost that Michigan game. Nobody thought they were going to win it. Nobody thought they had a chance, and they ended up winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
I honestly believe Alabama will go here that Saturday. They will take care of business. They will win. They will go to the SEC championship, and we will be playing against Georgia like always because I think that Texas is going to beat Texas A&M.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, then again, I picked Texas, I think, to beat Georgia, and we all saw how that worked out. But I don't know, for whatever reason, I mean, this is probably Texas A&M's one of the toughest games that they played in on their schedule. It seems like Texas is playing better. The game is in Austin. It's Friday. I guess it's a rivalry game considering, College Station and Austin aren't that far apart. But still, I think I might roll with the Longhorns just for kind of the drama of it.
Oh, yeah. If anything has showed you, history repeats itself, and we will see Alabama playing Georgia in Atlanta, our second home.
Yeah, Brian Denny East. All right, Case, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the compliments. Thanks for the call, bro. Always good to hear from you. Enjoy that fried turkey, man. That sounds absolutely delicious.
Appreciate it. Roll Tide, guys.
Yeah, take it easy, man. All right, 334 up next. All right, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, how's it going, Kyle? This is Mecca out of Austin, Texas. Look, by the way, of Selma, Alabama. How's it going?
I appreciate it, man. How do I say your first name?
Mecca.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here, bro. Come with it, man. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Kyle. This is like my third time calling in. I'm like Santa Claus. I call in once a year, man. So happy holidays.
That's what's up.
Y'all
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah. Tell us about
Yeah.
the turkey situation. What you got going on?
To be honest with you, I'm on a strict guy right now. I'm vegan, so I don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
You know what? I was vegan for 2 years. All right. So and my vegan journey, it was crazy because I could have wrote a book on it, right? Vegan in the South, because the South is not designed for people to be vegan, right? As soon as I became vegan, it was crazy. The football team got sponsored by Conecuh sausage. So here I was vegan and walking through all these tubs of Conecuh sausage. It was crazy, right? It was an interesting journey. And what it did for me personally, I'll just be honest with you, is it took away all of my bad cholesterol. Literally deleted it. Like all your LDL, like your dangerous cholesterol. With me being vegan, it went to like none. And my cardiologist was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm vegan." He's like, "Stay doing it." So that is for, everybody has different genetics. That was my journey. For me, I didn't think it was like overly sustainable. But I, like you, man, very health conscious type person. But anyways, just kind of wanted to share that with you. But anyways, man, come with it and welcome to the show. What you got for us?
Absolutely, Kyle. So I won't be long, and I'm gonna do your side. I won't call in Friday either. Stay there for another spot for another caller. But yeah, man, what I got is, all right, here we go. Why there's not as much vitriol against Ty Simpson as it was against Miro? If Ty plays like he's been playing these last, 6 games, we're going to lose this Iron Bowl. And I'm going to take off my crimson. I am an Alabama fan, but you got to take off your crimson lens sometimes. And I know Debo, he's probably not going to make the switch. He's too loyal, but he needs to. If Ty's been playing like he's been playing these last couple of games, we're going to lose. And the defense can only save him so many times, and I think that's why we don't have as much calling for Ty's head as we did last year for Miro, because the defense is extremely better this year than it was last year. But they can only bail us out so much. And why is there not an outcry for possibly trying something? You want to go with Austin Mack? Go with Austin Mack. You want to go with Russell? Go with Russell. But and now unless he shut me up this weekend and he come in and throw 7 touchdown passes, then y'all gonna be reminding this and saying, yeah, you was wrong, guy.
Yeah, but you know what? I think the reason for there's like not an outcry, because sometimes I wonder about that as well, especially because he clearly is in a slump. He's on the struggle bus. But I think what we saw earlier in the season, like, remember when he was like 17 or 17? I get it. It was against Louisiana Monroe, but that was still crazy. What he did against Wisconsin, it was like elite. The way he played against Georgia was outstanding. So I think we've seen, what we wanted to see from a quarterback, and that's kind of that intermediate passing game, working, time of possession. One thing that he definitely struggles with is deep ball. There's no explosive plays. And now that the turnovers are starting to rack up, I'll tell you this, man. If Ty struggles in quarters 1 and 2, that chatter for another quarterback will be all of the halftime talk. And if this game is close and Ty's thrown like 2 interceptions or something like that, or like Brock Purdy the other night for the Niners and throw 3 interceptions in that one quarter, I'm telling you, people will be calling for another quarterback. But I think they're almost to start going there, but I think they're willing to give him another opportunity in this late season matchup. But I do feel it could come if he doesn't get out of this slump in quarters 1 or 2. You have anything else while I got you on the line?
Yes, sir. Yes, just real quick. Yeah, just to tackle, just to piggyback on that off a little bit. But he, in the second half, man, Ty, it seems like you could just see it in his eye. He gets rattled, man, and that's not going to win us no championship. Hell, it probably won't even win us against an Iron Bowl, even against a discombobulated Auburn. But I just hope Debo make that switch. If like you say, he struggles in the first half, he probably won't, because I think last year he said he saw the fire in Miro's eye. Man, screw that, man.
Yeah.
Put the team first. You know what I'm saying? I think you said it. I say last night or the night before last about Nick Saban. You know how hard it was for Nick to have the bench Jalen Hurts, the man that got you to the dance, you know. And I think Debo has to do the same thing. He won't do it. It's not in him. You know, I used to live in Seattle, Washington, where him and Grove was at, and you know, it's their personality. You know, they don't have it in them. You know, they not gonna do it. But I appreciate the call, Kyle, and roll tide, and this is Mecca out of Austin, Texas. Thanks,
all right, man. Take it easy, brother. All right, we got Chris from New Jersey in 205. I'll probably go until like maybe 11:20, and then I got to take a break and get ready for Coach Kalen to board at 11:30. So just a heads up. All right, Chris from New Jersey coming up next. Hey, Chris, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in, man. I know you're not leadoff today, but still made it on the show, man. So welcome on in.
Had to do some work today, man. What a bummer. Well, listen, happy pre-Thanksgiving to you. My happy pre-Thanksgiving to the undefeated. Well, I'm calling in. We're going to stay with the positive. Here's my prediction that we win. We win pretty big. We pull away in the second half. And ready for this? My friend and undefeated and our friend who just called in, Ty is going to have the best game of the season against Auburn.
Ooh, love it.
And he's not going to win it, but he'll put his name back in the Heisman picture. Maybe even get an invite to New York. Sit in, you know, at least you get to sit in the audience there. But he won't win it. But that you know, it's a free trip for you and your family. Here's a couple things. One is we win against Auburn. It doesn't matter what happens in the SEC championship. I still think we probably win. And I think I'm not with you guys. I think A&M beats Texas, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, so here's the bottom line: is we're going to win against Auburn. We're in, and here's a great thing. Everybody's heard that term, too big to fail. From finance when the world was coming to an end. And, I actually work in finance, not garbage removal, Kyle. But anyway, this is why you have a channel which you have 100,000 followers, and you get, people like me and all the rest of us that follow you religiously. But you're following the number one viewed college football program in America.
Yeah.
Look, and everybody go. Everybody go look at the stats. All the games, the biggest games of the year is Alabama, and they're the most viewed in the entire country for more than Ohio State, more than Michigan, more than USC. So they can't. Remember, I said that guy was just looking for clickbait, that putts from the committee with all the talking about our running game. Yeah, clickbait to the biggest, consumer base for college football in the country, and you're not going to leave out the number. If we beat Auburn and lose in the SEC, which I don't think we're going to lose. I think we're going to beat Texas A&M for all the marbles. But we're getting in. We're in no matter what, and they're not going to leave out a team that gets 8 million. Viewers. I'm thinking that's more than a whole bunch of the NFL, right, Kyle?
Yeah, I think that what people are hopeful for, but you're right. I mean, nobody watches a team more than Alabama. I think it's 8 million viewers, and I'm sure 4 million.
8.14 or something like
but
that.
I think 4 million are not fans. Because everybody wants to see him.
New Jersey.
Yeah, but I think
everybody see Monica. Oh, see Monica in the chat is Chris from New Jersey. Just so I remind you, because our names are not fixed still.
Yeah, I don't know. That's above my pay grade. But the whole Ty Simpson deal, it's I'm pulling for the kid. He's on the struggle bus. A lot of people are going to be watching him every single throw, every single thing that he does. But what an opportunity to kind of showcase yourself once again against 8 million, because there's 100%. Everybody's going to be watching that game. And if he comes out and he does his thing, he's not going to be. He's kind of out of the Heisman. But the number one thing is he took care of business for his team. He beat Auburn, and he took his team to the SEC title game. And I think anybody playing Ty Simpson, depending on the outcome of this game, you got to be ready for a true competitor. So, I'm a Ty guy. Hopefully you can come with it and kind of get it together. They certainly need him, but I appreciate. Go ahead, Chris. Make one more point,
One
bro.
last thing, Kyle. One last thing. I get up at the crack of doom early in the morning, and right away on one of these sites, did you guys see that Lane Kiffin? Somebody outed it. So you can buy, when you have $14 million a year in salary, you usually buy your house in a trust. Lane Kiffin bought a house at LSU that's in a trust, and somebody leaked it. So he's going to LSU, kids. So and he's not staying at Ole Miss. He's LSU. I think probably Sunday or Monday the announcement will come. So because they have to do it because of the recruiting on December 10th or whatever it is. I think it's the 10th.
Yep.
So Lane Kiffin going to LSU. We don't care. We're going to beat him there. Ha. So all right, listen, Kyle. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. I will be sending you pictures of my golden mashed potatoes. So God bless us all. We should all have a lot to be thankful for. And my best to you, my best to the undefeated. Happy Thanksgiving, and we will talk, my friend.
All right, thanks, brother. All right, thanks for calling in. All right, Chris, out in Montclair, New Jersey. I'm gonna take these next two calls. We'll keep them a little brief because I gotta get ready for my next 11:30 with Coach Kalen DeBoer. But here's our 205. All right, thanks for being patient. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
I'm Ethan from Cuban.
Hey, Ethan, what's up, bro? I appreciate you calling in, man. Welcome to the show. Go with it.
Well, I'm going to be a little off topic here. I'm married into a family of Auburn fans, so I stay plugged into Auburn just about as much as I do Alabama. You know who the number one pick right now? I mean, betting odds are not the greatest, decider on who's going to be a head coach, but it's John Summerall.
Yeah.
For Auburn. Mm-hmm. Y'all want a scary sight? John Summerall at Auburn. I mean, that might separate ball knowers from not ball knowers, but John Summerall is one heck of a coach, and I've been looking for him to come to the SEC for a couple of years.
Yeah, I've seen him as a name that has been popped up, and I saw the job that he's done, and he's kind of been a hot name as of lately. And I think, look, you kind of look at the coaches that Auburn has had in the past, and I think we had a caller earlier talking about Hugh Freeze. I mean, the thing with Auburn, and I've been watching a lot of Auburn football lately just, for the research, man, they're just like a couple plays away from having, I don't know, an 8-win season, a 9-win season. It's crazy. It's like they're almost unlucky. And the whole quarterback situation, I actually like the kid, Ashton Daniels. So, yeah, Summerall going over there. And I would imagine that they keep DJ Durkin because I do feel that he does a good job for defense. It's just, I don't know, they're just kind of a couple plays away from having an actual winning record. What else you got, Ethan?
Well, I know this is looking a little too far ahead for, a lot of people's taste, but the SEC title game, we make it with Texas A&M. Might be easier said than done. Make them throw the ball. I know they got some great receivers. I know that. They got a lot of speed. And I was kind of upset when Concepcion didn't come to us, Mm-hmm. But, I mean, Reed has not, I've watched him, and, he can throw the ball. But honestly, you put him in a little bit of a tizzy and he can't get out of the pocket and make plays. I mean, he's going to have to try to beat you with his arm.
What do you think, Ethan, going back to this Iron Bowl, you think it's Ashton Daniels that starts for the Tigers?
I think so, to be honest with you. I mean, I haven't, none of the people I talk to, the Auburn fans and my family and everything, they don't seem to think any different.
Yeah, I think so too. And then obviously, Eric Singleton, Cam Coleman, and their defense. I mean, we all know that. So, anyways, but it looks like this whole Alex Gollash deal has gone down for Arkansas. So for those of you worried about, Kane going to Arkansas, it looks like Alex Gollash is headed to Arkansas, which I think is a big pickup for the Razorbacks. Ethan, you still there, buddy?
I know. Yes, sir. Honestly, I was kind of scared of Kane going somewhere. I know there's a lot of people that have been high on him, but I mean, we have, I believe it's like the 8th or 9th best ranked defense in the nation overall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the man has done exactly what we paid him to do. Put together something.
All right, Ethan, thanks for calling in, bro. I appreciate it. Call again next time, man, and enjoy the Iron Bowl. Take it easy, bro. What's up? Am I frozen? Paul Bryan, was I frozen? All right, let's take our last call, 850. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Anderson. Who on the line with him? Where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Cody from Crestview.
Cody, what's up, bro? How was your birthday yesterday?
Oh, it was good. Now I just got to do some washing machine problems and stuff like that.
Oh, man.
But, oh, my God. Anyway, I'm here to talk about playoff talk.
Playoffs?
Because I talked, I was talking about with the, I know we're going to beat Auburn. I know Alabama's going to beat Auburn. Who would ever think Auburn's going to beat Alabama at the Iron Bowl, even though it's haunted? I think Alabama's going to win against Auburn. The only thing about this is I think I talked with Max out in the comment section. I said, look, I feel like something fishy is going on. I think there's something blue, or like some concoction in, like, after we beat Auburn and all that other stuff. I think there's like a concoction going on. There's something. I feel like there needs to be an investigation in the playoffs because right now I feel like with the SEC championship, and I know people don't get for Alabama they won't be criticized with losing the SEC championship. I would have to just say, look, for the SEC championship, I mean, really, to be honest, if we look at national championship and SEC championship, I think now SEC championship it would be more washed than the national championship, because the reason why is the committee doesn't want Alabama in the playoffs. Period. But I feel like even though we're still going to get into the playoffs, and I can tell, and I know this for a fact, we can still get into the playoffs. The only problem is I think what happened is someone who's on the bidding side of the committee is trying to be like, okay, I want to bid against Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, or Georgia to win the national championship over guys like Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Alabama, Texas Tech. Maybe Texas Tech is a sleeper for them. But, they want other people to win national championships, and they're bidding off of it, and it's something's weird going on. This is the playoff brackets now these days are just weird for some reason. I can't put my tongue to it, but I feel like it's so weird. Something sinister is going back down there. I don't trust the committee though, but that's all I had to talk to you about with the playoff talk and all that stuff. The coaches, whoever said that Lane Kiffin's going to LSU, you are blindsided, my friend. I will tell you this. I said LSU cannot spend too much money on coaching these days. They have to go to NIL debt collector to spend $130 million back to the NIL and say, look, we spent two bad coachings. Here's a $130 million check that you can't afford. And so right now you need to go pay the debt collector that money. Sorry, LSU, but I think Lane Kiffin's going to stay at either Ole Miss or probably go to Florida because he's got people out there in Florida. So.
All right, Cody. Well, I appreciate the call, bro. I hope you had a good birthday, man, and thanks for calling in as always, bro. All right, good luck on that washing machine. Washing machine. All right, take it easy.
Yeah, okay.
Anything that you have to do, just, turn on YouTube, look up the exact model, and go to Home Depot 20 different times until you fixed it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can do it. I always thought, like, when I'm working at projects at home, I'm like, if this man can do it on YouTube, then I could do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just about, you got to have the right tools. You got to have the patience. You're going to, go through a couple different things that you're like, oh my goodness, whether it's a garbage disposal or something on your truck or whatever, right? You got this. There's so much information out there. All right, fam. Well, look, I appreciate y'all. This is what to watch for right now. 11:30, Coach Kalen DeBoer is doing his weekly SEC media conference. If he says anything pertaining to Josh Cuevas or anything that makes my ears perk up, I'll turn out another video immediately. So be expecting that around that 12 p.m. window. Other than that, we got Wednesday night. There's the Hey Coach show that's on tonight. And then tonight at 7:11 p.m., is the student availability injury report for Alabama and Auburn. Those are kind of the things that we are tracking going into the Iron Bowl. And then, of course, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. We will have our Thanksgiving show tomorrow as scheduled right here on Bama Football on YouTube. So that's kind of the layout of the land. But I appreciate y'all kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thanks for getting inside the comment box and, sticking with me as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Stay tuned as news happens. I got you covered. And, enjoy this holiday season with your friends and your loved ones. Thank you very much for watching. And coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Kyle Henderson.